Yahawah, Barakadi Yahushai, Barakadi Yahawah, Barakadi Yahushai, Barakadi Yahawah, Barakada Yahushai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Bakakodash. Double honors apostles and elders of greatness stone. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim. That is pushing his word in sincerity and truth, with humiliation all across the forwards to you, I salute. This is the brother Desire one back to another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Going into prophecy, plagues. Alright, these plagues upon earth, and they coming in, they ain't slack, you know. Okay, these plagues are coming upon earth and they ain't slack. Alright, you know, I'm gonna read two other articles briefly. Alright. Esau might be, behind this, the wicked, but at the end of the day, the Lord still controls everything. The Lord put in the minds of men, all right, what to do, all right, and the earth is given in the hand of Esau, all right. Who gave Esau the power? Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. All right, the Lord controls everything. A sparrow don't touch the ground without the Lord knowing too. You know, Esau, the so-called white man, you know, his power only could go so far. All right, but the Lord controls everything, man. And you have this article: Western Australia experiencing an out-of-control mouse plague. Western Australia is currently experiencing an out-of-control mouse plague with population exceeding 4,000 mice per hectare in some areas. That's crazy, and some people are scared of these damn rodents. It says the mice are devastating newly planted crops, contaminated local businesses, and forcing grain producers to urgently apply stronger bait in order to mitigate hundreds of millions of dollars in potential agricultural damage. A leading mouse researcher is calling for urgent action as he says mice are at plague proportions in Western Australian grain paddocks. A population exceeding 800 mice per hectare is defined as a plague. You see, that's crazy, but residents say that the number of mice in their homes is also unprecedented, with the little rodents chewing through plastic containers, milk cartons, and food containers. Alright? And, growing up, I experienced where, your parents was, poor. Sometimes, where you came from, for me in particular, a small house. Sometimes freaking them rodents, them rats used to come in your house, the holes in your house. They come and they eat out all your food, then they shit up in, they shit up in, or got the little rat nanny in your cornflake and whatever. And man, they used to do their damage. So they mess up everything. They breed on everything. You know what I mean? You just gotta throw them away. This right here could cause like in a way farming, cause they mess up everything. They eat no, they they bring a lot of hellish conditions. Cause I experienced them. They could eat out your house, eat out the sheetrock. What they do, they chew on things. They shit up everywhere. They have everything polluted. They piss on tanks. Oh, them rats can bring chaos in your house, but have everything polluted. One pest controller said that some infestations are at levels he has never seen before. ABC reports CSIRO research officer Stephen Henry, who a study reported most numbers in paddocks from Geraldton the Esperant, said that the figures were alarming. I'm really concerned, Mr. Henry said, when you're getting over 200 or 300 mice per hectare, then you really got cause for concern. They are becoming between 3 and 4,000 burrows, 6 to 8,000 mice per hectare in some locations. Mister, let's look up this word hectare, right? A metric unit. Uh, Give me a minute. Hectare. It says a metric unit of area commonly used to measure land, which is equal to 10,000 square meters. Damn. It is equivalent to 2.47 acres in imperial system. You see that? You see that? They're counting between 3 and 4,000 burrows, 6 to 8,000 mice per hectare in some location. Mr. Henry said he visited WA in 2022 when numbers were high, but this year the problem was worse. Grain paddocks around the small community of Morowa, 360 kilometers northwest of Perth. Long-term resident and pest control Peter Sikan Noskas came home from a week away to find mice had taken root in his pantry. They could bring hell, boy. A dozen mice were visibly running over everything among torn bags of self-raising flour and sugar. And you just gotta throw them away. They infest everything, boy. They breed on everything, piss on everything. There's hell, boy. He placed 7.5 kilograms of bait around his property, which has consumed in less than 3 days an amount he estimated could kill about 75 kilograms of mice. That's a lot of damn mice. Because pretty much the problem is also when you kill them, they dead, they find places to die and places you can't even reach by in the walls and all kind of shit. So they have your house even stink. And that ain't healthy. This hell but it's judgment. Mr. Seekan Noska said the problem was widespread and he was being called out to more infestations than ever before. He said a resident told him mice had eaten their way through a plastic container of rolled oats and nibbled through UHT milk containers, creating a flood. My supplier of chemicals had remarked he's had an increase in sales in this area, he said. You see? So they doing some damage, boy. 4,000 mice per hectare in some areas. That's hell. These the plagues from the Lord, boy. You see? This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 5. Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Alright? Salakia. Okay, check this out. The 2nd Ezra 16 and 5, it says, means that the severe divine punishments and disasters ordained for the earth are unstoppable once they are set in motion. You see that? Context. The key aspects of 2nd Ezra 16:5. Context. The chapter describes a time of great trouble. You see that? Including wars, plagues, and famine as a judgment against the unrighteousness of the world. Irreversibility. The verse asks, calamities are being set upon you, and who is there to drive them away? The implicit answer is that no one can start God's judgment. No one can stop the judgment of the Lord. Okay? No one. No one can start the judgment of Yahawah. Shemya Shai. Okay, now let me jump down to verse 8, right? It says, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, which is plural, and who is he that can drive them away? The plagues is plural. Alright? 2nd Ezra 16 and 8, the AIO view, the Lord sends calamities, and who will drive them away? The Lord sends disaster, no one can hold it back. Here is the breakdown of its meaning within the context of the chapter. The inevitability of judgment. The verse emphasizes that when God initiates judgment or sends calamities, disaster, plagues, or tribulations, due to human disobedience, no human power has the strength or authority to stop them. So, at the end of the day, it's the Lord. Everything's of the Lord. Esau just a mortal man. Everything is of the Lord. Don't give his glory to another. Everything is of the Lord. No human strength has the power or authority to stop them. The power of God. It highlights God's absolute sovereignty, comparing his action to inescapable forces like a hungry lion fire and stubble, or sharp arrow shot by a strong archer, which cannot be turned back once released. You see that? Due to human disobedience, I will punish the world. Alright? This is Isaiah. Isaiah. Let me get that. I'll read that in a minute. Yeah, Isaiah 13:11. And I'll punish the world for their evil. How you think the Lord punishing the world? These pestilence, these plagues. You see the hantavirus? And the wicked for their iniquity. And I'll cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and we'll lower the haughtiness of the terrible. And the Lord is going to continue to do that in these times. Alright? He's going to continue to do that because everybody out here prideful. What he's saying in 2nd Ezra 8:50 is one of my not a private precept. 2nd Ezra 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done to them. It can be done to these people that in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they walk in great pride. Okay? Because they walk in great pride. Alright? So the Lord ain't playing, man. Yahawah Shemel Shai ain't playing. He's sending these plagues. Let me show you another one. I guess I can go into it brief. The Lord ain't playing. Lord, give me a minute. People always call him when they're doing the work of the Lord. It says, Americans finding boxes of ticks falling from the skies as red meat allergy cases rise. Questions explode. A video now tearing across the internet as people asking a question that would have sounded absurd just a few years ago. Are ticks being deployed by the government? The clip is simple but disturbing. A hunter in a remote wooded area came across what looked like a sealed container lying in the dirt as if it had been dropped in. When he opens it, the camera catches a dense seeding mass inside. There's millions of them, he says. Backing away, the box is crawling with ticks packed together in a way that doesn't occur in nature. Alright? You know, evil E at work. Alright, this is the devil. Ticks don't organize themselves in containers. They don't fall from the sky, and they don't appear in that kind of concentration without a host. So what exactly is it? You see? Alright? We know how this devil go. Online incident is colliding with a lesser known but a very real medical condition that has quietly been spreading in recent years. Alpha-gal syndrome triggered by certain tick bites. The condition causes the human body to reject red meat, sometimes violently. People who once ate steak without a second thought suddenly develop allergic reactions, ranging from hives to life-threatening anaphylaxis. In other words, a bite can reprogram your diet. You see that? The primary culprit has been linked to the Lone Star tick, a species whose geographic spread has been expanding. Health authorities have framed it as an ecological shift, warmer climates, migrating wildlife, changing habitats. Alright? So, the person say, man, that ain't just dropped there. You know our evil ego. Esau is the devil, boy. Alright? But at the end of the day, the Lord orchestrating all these things through the spirit and power of Yahawah Shemel Shai. They think there's another one. Yeah, hantavirus cruise ship carrying 148 people stranded near Cape Verde. You know? So Lord bringing judgment, man. The Heavenly Father is bringing judgment. You have the plagues of the mouse. You get the ticks. And you get a hantavirus. This is the judgment of the Lord to punish people. Alright? Okay? It says the inevitability of judgment. The verse emphasizes that when God initiate judgment or send calamities, disasters, plagues, or tribulation due to human disobedience, no human power has the strength or authority to stop them. No one. No one. Okay? That's why you get a fear of the God of the Bible. And in these last days, he can send some plagues out here. Okay? Let me see if I can get this other one. The Lord ain't playing, man. I can look this up in 1637. This is 2 Ezra 16:37. The plague draw nigh and are not slack. It says, this means that calamities, divine judgment, or plagues predicted to come upon it are imminent and unstoppable. Imminence, the words draw near and are not delayed, emphasize that the time for judgment is rapidly approaching and no further postponement. So you see the Lord he playing, he tired. Alright? He tired. He tired. So judgment is coming. Alright, we see all these plagues upon earth. Alright, these pestilence. We near more to the end, But I just want to bring those just written power of Yahawah Shalom.